Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to the BloodyBlu Oubliette, aka Celluloid Central. I'm the Son of Celluloid, Nathan Hamilton, and tonight we are going to be talking about the Zodiac Killer. Now, this release comes to us from AGFA in association with the greatest distributors in the history of cult film, Something Weird Video. Gotta love those guys. Now, as you see, it comes with the liner notes in the snazzy little booklet. Comes with both the DVD and Blu-ray presentation. It also has the ever-popular reversible cover. And it's a 1971 horror film directed by Tom Hansen and starring Manny Nedwick. Now, one of the more interesting things about this movie, and I say one of because there's a lot of interesting things about this movie, is that it was made while the Zodiac Killer was still active. You know, a lot of movies say they're ripped from today's headlines. This one actually was. Can you imagine sitting in the theater, watching a horror movie about a serial killer who is still out there actively taking victims, especially if you're watching it in the area where it happened? That was the case with the Zodiac Killer. Now, it takes place in San Francisco, and they trot out a lot of the weird characters as suspects. Each one gets a little weirder than the next, and it becomes kind of a police procedural, which is interspersed with reenactments of some of Zodiac's more infamous murders. Now, the ones that are based on the facts are pretty chilling. They're very well shot, they're pretty accurate, and they're very effective. But then this flick goes way out in left field. I mean, like, completely off the rails. Like, did you know that Zodiac's motive was that his victims came back as his slaves in the next life when Atlantis rose? Yeah, he reveals that to us when he's talking to his weird shrine altar thing in the basement wearing this weird ceremonial cape.
I am the Supreme Zodiac. Atlantis shall rise again.
Now, as far as the transfer goes, this is a 4K scan of the only 16mm theatrical print that is still in existence. And it looks awesome. You know why it looks awesome? Because AGFA does it right. In the commentary track, they describe their process for restoring a film. They give it a 4K scan, which makes it as high def as possible. Then they do some basic color correction to it, and that's all. No digital manipulation of the image at all. They say they want it to look like it would look if you went and saw it in the theater back in 1971. That's how you do it. Don't overproduce your image. That's what makes some Blu-rays look terrible, and that's why AGFAs always look top notch. Now, as far as the extras go, they're what make this really special. You get a short interview with Tom Hansen and Manny Nedwick. You get a commentary track with Tom, Manny, and the guys from AGFA. You have tabloid horror trailers from the archive. You've got liner notes. You've got a bonus movie, which I'll talk about in a sec. And that's what makes this package so cool, is because the story behind this movie is just as good as the movie itself. Tom made this flick not just to break into the movie industry, but to try and catch the Zodiac Killer. This movie's purpose was to taunt him into showing up at the theater at the premiere. They had an ice cream truck full of cops. They had agents in the concession stand and in the projection room. They were giving away a motorcycle. They even had cards which said, "I believe the Zodiac kills because," so people would fill it out and they could forensically take that handwriting and compare it to Zodiac's. He actually met someone at one of the screenings he believes was the Zodiac Killer. He corresponded with him, and he tried to get an investigation going, but for one reason or another, nothing would happen, and the FBI stole his files. The story behind this is absolutely amazing, and that's what makes this the perfect package, because not only do you get the movie, which is great 70s schlock. If you're a drive-in enthusiast like me, this is the kind of movie that demands to be watched outside late at night with a couple of beers. The movie itself, awesome. But when you take it with the special features which tell the story behind it, this whole thing, man, this is a must-buy. The bonus second thriller chiller on this release is called Another Son of Sam. It has nothing to do with the Son of Sam. Nothing. I guess they just put it on here because it has a serial killer in the title. Not a good movie. It's schlocky. It's cheesy. I mean, it's a 2K transfer from a 35mm and it looks good. But if you like that kind of thing, if you're into the so bad it's good, I'm into it. You'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Now, at this point, I want to say something about AGFA. You may have seen my review of Effects and how much I love that one. And with how much I love this release, anything AGFA puts out is a blind buy for me now. This is my favorite distributor putting out these boutique edition Blu-rays right now, and I recommend you check out anything they put out. This one in particular, the Zodiac Killer, in addition to being a really fun movie, the story around it is what really, really makes this thing and makes it an indispensable part of your collection. I'm about to do something you will very, very rarely ever see me do. This gets a perfect score. A 10 out of 10 on the BloodyBlu scale. Nathan says, check it out.